she has a kind of condition?
No, I think she saw something that scared her.
Um,
I thought she was in pain.
um, Chief.
Hello, everyone. If we can come and make a circle here around the sound that's coming out of these speakers. I know we're getting high tech here because I feel like I'm in a techno party.
Chief, you still gonna get out there and jingle? Huh? You still gonna participate?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
You can turn it off. If you can come closer, we are actually right on nature's time. We put out 7:30 because we were like, that's what it said the sundown was going to be, but this is even better. Folks, first of all, thank you all for coming. This is really overwhelming for me in a very positive way, because when we first started, just this little thing, this commemoration, this honoring of our fallen African siblings during this transatlantic slave trade. And also we came to learn that it wasn't just Africans, it was also the indigenous people of this land that were enslaved and sent into the Caribbean and then all the way back into Africa and as far down as South Africa. So we're really talking about this west coast of Africa to the Americas connection. And when we started, it was just us. It was just a group of us. They covered this bench and maybe a few people on this side and a few people on this side. And it's been growing, but what's beautiful about it is that it's been growing organically. We didn't want to go on national news or go to Channel 10 and tell them about this thing that we do, and then hundreds of people come really for the spectacle of it, as opposed to, I think I need to go and truly spend some time reflecting on what that means, the legacy of that time. We talked yesterday about how we're not defined by the trauma and the things that happen to us, but we do have to acknowledge the harm before you can with us today, we have Chief Tapia, who I have invited to say a few words, and he will talk about his tribe and the work that he's done here. And I wanted him to be the opening remark, really, so that we understand that it's really about the connection between these two lands. And you cannot understand a people without understanding their culture, their history, and their land. And before you leave here today, you should be asking each other, what is the story of this land right here? Not just talking about the Americas and Turtle Island, but where you're standing right now. What's the story? What's happening? Are you familiar? Because now we look around and it's all the valley roads, and it has decks and it has all of these things. But has this land gone through? Is something that we should also be asking. So I'm going to invite Chief Tapi, please, for a few words.
Ahom, Omatun, Mabrika. This means gratitude and welcome in the language Arawak Taino, or the language of the Greater Antilles. I'd first like to acknowledge the Algonquin-speaking tribes of these lands, the Algonquin-speaking peoples who inhabit these lands to this day and who will from here to eternity and have from time immemorial. I want to make sure that we're all conscious of this because we tend to forget that there's a multi-sided reality that enjoys and involves the stories, cosmology, and cosmology of many peoples. And just an example of this is the W.A.R culture and how this is not just here, but it's diasporic. The same way that we have diasporic presence all over the lands and the world, as Taino people, as Algonquin-speaking people, as Indigenous Americans, and as expats and victims of everything from human trafficking to difficulty in wages, difficulty in living. So we want to acknowledge that and say this: frequency, sound, and vibration, onda sonora. See, it's not just the water, it's the waves. We see the water, and we know that it has a potential that brings forth life. But we also tend to not realize that the water is alive because of the current flowing through it, because of the waves coming. So it's the energy that is going through the medium of the water, reaching the land, reaching the air. We feel the currents, we feel it. Do you see it? Well, if you know it's there and you can acknowledge it, you can harness it and use it as the medium that it is. I mention that to say my ancestors, I know our Greater Antilles, had our own name for our own cosmology creator, and what we called the sea was W.A.R. Our supreme deity, Yokapagwa Marakoti, purveyor of Yucca cassava, which you trace all over the world today, come from the Americas, and the provision of the sea. In honor and respect to that, and to bless it, we sing the song, which is an ancestral tradition that acknowledges the provision, the power of the sea in our sustenance. Tahinuti Bumatum, Wakia Babature Toka, Tahinuti Bumatum, Wakia Babature Toka, Yoka Uba Komarakoti, Wakia Babature Toka, Yoka Uba Komarakoti, Wakia Babature Toka, Rico Wakia, Musika Wakia, para Yukuya Yukatai, Marico Wakia, Musika Wakia, para Yukuya Yukatai, Tahinuti Bumatum, Wakia Babature Toka, Tahinuti Bumatum, Wakia Babature Toka, Yoka Uba Komarakoti, Wakia Babature Toka, Yoka Uba Komarakoti, Wakia Babature Toka, Ureituka, Quatuka, Utuka, Quabetuka, Ureituka, Quatuka, Utuka, Quabetuka, Inuti Wakia Babature Toka, Inuti Bumatum, Wakia Babature Toka, Yoka Uba Komarakoti, Wakia Babature Toka, Yoka Uba Komarakoti, Wakia Babature Toka. The song acknowledges the grand vision of nature and our environment. It acknowledges the sea, and it acknowledges that frequency that we conserve and create when we come together. And we acknowledge our power and our strength through the provision of the Most High to fight through any circumstance, to fight through any difficulty, to harness and manifest frequency, sound, vibration, culture, tradition, power. In honor of that, and in respect to that, and in respect to that, I'll say one more thing. Our tribal lema, our tribal motto, which is Okama Kwayari, Daneke Bohio, Wariko Choreto, which means welcome to the roundhouse. Come into abundance. Come into the knowledge of your ancestors.
Thank you so much, Chief Captain. How did that feel for you? I'm wondering, we invited two other speakers. I'm not sure if one of them was able to make it, but Mr. Georges, are you here by any chance? Because I can't see. I'm not sure if he was able to make it. So one of the reasons why we chose this particular weekend and this particular date is because of the August 22nd to the 23rd, 1791, when we had the first successful rebellion by an African diasporic people in Haiti. That led to the first African diasporic independent nation in the world. And it inspired hundreds of thousands, millions of people across the world to do the same. Many were not able to gain their independence for 100 years, 200 years, but it planted a seed. And it's a seed that we have forgotten. But the Haitians have been watering that seed for hundreds of years. And unfortunately, because of what it did, it continues to pay for that to this day. And if you pay attention to the history, things that continue to happen in Haiti is not by accident. And you can go all the way to conferences of the 1890s to learn about the specific strategies that were developed. One, to carve up Africa, and another, to make sure that Haiti continued to struggle. At some point in my life, I stopped believing in coincidences, at least cosmic ones. It's not an accident, folks, that sometimes you think about someone, you pick up that phone, and they're on the phone. There are 8 billion people in this world. You thought of someone, you pick up the phone, and sometimes the phone doesn't even ring, and they're just on the phone. I don't know. At some point, I stopped thinking, that's just a weird coincidence. Maybe we're truly connected. And I truly feel connected to my siblings in Haiti. And so I've invited one of our close friends, Rose Alpert, who's continuing to do the work, the legacy that Haiti planted many years ago. She is the current executive director of the Rhode Island for Community and Justice, that is doing the work of anti-discrimination and prejudice and bias here in Rhode Island. We're going to invite her up to say a few words as well. Rose.
I'm sorry. It's bright. It's pretty dark out here.
All right, thank you so much, Silas, for inviting me. So yes, for those, for those who do not know, Haiti really commemorates this day, and I'm really thankful that to know that even in Rhode Island there is people coming together to honor the labor and the fight that the Haitian people went through for all of us. So my name is Rose. I use the she, her pronoun, and I am a proud Haitian, honoring the legacy here, even with my outfit, but it's cold, so y'all can see the whole outfit. But really, on this day, the enslaved people of Haiti ignited this flame that would forever change the way that we talk about liberation, the way that we talk about freedom, and the way that we talk about independence. I really also wanted to elevate that Haiti is the first nation to won their independence from France in 1804, a successful um, revolution that happened. And really, on this day, a lot of the enslaved people that came together in the north of Haiti, or Cap Haitien, with the Wakaima ceremony, and even earlier, watching you all in circle and doing capoeira was really making me reflect around what it was just back then and how the people came together in the mountain under a tree, just plotting and chanting and coming together with a solution for their freedom, because they said enough is enough and they did not want the way that they were being treated to continue, and they strategized and really revolted and successfully won that independence. And with the work that we do at RICJ, as Silas mentioned, I feel like as a Haitian, and especially doing this work at an organization with a mission to fight bias, bigotry, and racism, and working with young people, we're really continuing this notion of like advocacy and resilience and education of knowing your rights and in fighting against the injustices that exist in this world that we are hearing about every single day, stronger and stronger. So we need to be able to have these moments as we had today, having good people come together and really fight against the injustices that are occurring, and then becoming the louder voice for the independence. When I think about like Haiti today, it's really sad of what's happening back home. But at the same time, and I think about Haiti in 1791, it was just normal people, regular people, enslaved people just coming together saying that, wait, change can happen and it could look different. And not only they were the hope for that, but because they did it, we're able to talk about it in this way. So I'm hoping that together as a community, we can continue to channel this and be bold and brave and honoring the legacy of those who came before us that had some very enduring time they had to come back and thrive around, and then continue that for future generations so that we can have a better future for our children and our grandchildren. So thank you so much, Silas, for having me, and thank you for honoring this day of August 22nd, 1791.
Thank you, Director. There are just so many, there are many wonderful people in this audience right now, and I would love to call everyone out, including the students, including the instructors, but that's not really what this is about. This is us coming together and taking the time for ourselves to reflect on what does it mean to do this work, and to do this work right now in 2025. I would like for us to move beyond the trauma-informed care. Any ism in the world affects us all. Nobody here is actually as privileged as they think they are. The people that hold all the power and privilege, they're probably not here. That's what I'm thinking, right? We're being affected by the same exact wave. So we're gonna go to the water and play Iyuna. Iyuna is a type of rhythm that is played in capoeira during these kinds of moments of reflection. It's time of birth, time of families coming together in weddings, it's time of death, it's time of remembrance. We don't clap during this particular rhythm, we don't sing, we just allow the instruments to do their work. That's why in capoeira, all of these instruments are made by hand. And one day they will return to the land, and just allow that frequency to feed the ocean. My grandmother used to talk about the sand as crushed up pieces of remains of her ancestors, and it took me almost a lifetime to understand what that meant. Because in the bottom of the ocean lies proof of the greed, of the pain, of the sorrow, but also the successes and the victories. So whatever this means for you in this moment, I hope that It's something that you can reach out to someone, connect with them physically, hold their hand. It's okay. Put your head on somebody's shoulder. Don't let them be by themselves, because digging into yourself is really hard work. For folks who took the van here after we do the ceremony, the van will be again at the very end of the parking lot. So again, thank you. I want to thank Queen Ama for being here from the Republic of the Gambia. This is the oldest empire in the world, folks. It's the oldest empire in the world. Oh, Queen Ama. Well, she's quite humble and doesn't need the spotlight, because all the work that she does is from behind the scenes. And you don't need to walk into the room and be known. You're among family. We wanted to acknowledge you. Thank you so much for being here. And everyone, let's go to the waters, and it will be good to see you soon. Take care.